All right, hello everybody, and welcome to your Wednesday lighting critique. We've got a bunch of images to go through, so let's get into it. We're going to start with Annabelle right out of the gate. Annabelle, share my screen. And you're gonna have to take my word for it. Please always shout that out to me when I forget to share my screen. That's awesome. Because I can see my screen. Yeah, whatever. Okay, so this is Annabelle's shot. Annabelle, you have been working at getting into the ACES workflow. You've been, you got this brighter outside going. You definitely have him looking super creepy here at the end.
I don't know if I went too much overboard with the contrast, but
I think it's good. I mean, because I'm curious to see how it transitions from this to this. I'm curious to see once we get the animation, once you're able to render out the animation. But this is still in contrast to what we were seeing before. I think works really well. I think I think sometimes you have to hit the mood harder than you ever anticipate because the audience. Because you stare at it for weeks, months, however long you do, but the audience only sees it for a second or two, right? So you really kind of have to go heavy-handed at it sometimes.
Yeah, because sometimes I just go too light on it, but I feel like it looks okay. But basically, what I want to do with the animation is that the lights kind of drastically dim, go down.
Yeah.
A little bit like some kind of theater show or something like that, Broadway, and it just goes kind of down to make it dramatic. So yeah, that's basically what I'm going for.
Yeah, for sure. And so all that being said, I think your core is there. I think there's some detail stuff that we can work on. The biggest one that I was seeing was I would like to see some more ambient occlusion or something in these corners and just kind of up underneath here, just a little more contact shadow of the furniture into the space a little bit.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Actually, I put it really low, the ambient occlusion, because sometimes I just put it too much. But I think now I went the other way around. I just put it way too low.
Yeah, I think it's also with this cabinet here, it would be good to get a little bit you can use it to drive a matte to get a little color bleed in there too. So it's not just lightness and darkness. You're actually getting some color to bounce in that space as well by just basically, it's you take the ambient occlusion and you use that to drive a color correction to make it a little warmer, if that makes sense.
Okay, so I had just a little tint, into the shadows, basically.
Yeah, you can. I don't think I have an ambient occlusion handy, but basically you can tint it, or you can invert it, which makes the shadow white, and the everything else black, and then you can use that as an alpha channel to drive a color correction. So
okay. That's cool.
So I've done that before, and that works out. That can work out pretty well if you're not getting it naturally in the scene.
Cool. I'll definitely try it out. Should I go for a more cooler shadow or a more warmer shadow? I don't know what would look better since it's a very neutral kind of light.
Yeah, I think it's more about. I think neutral is fine. It's just yeah. I think because it's not because when you think about the shadow color, you think about the what the ambient light is in the space, and for this it's just kind of light rattling around, so it would be pretty neutral. I mean, maybe just for the mood of it, push it a little bit cool, because again, cool office-y type of a thing, but it's more about just getting some value variation in there.
Yeah, for sure.
But some this stuff, the lighting on this guy looks really great. The lighting on her looks really great there. The other thing was I think that this, if you wanted, I think the screen could use a little bit more work. And again, with an ambient occlusion, you can put a little bit more shadow on the edge, and it makes the screen kind of feel like it's dropped in a little bit.
Oh yeah, because I kind of felt like it was off a little bit, but I wasn't sure what was wrong with it.
It feels a little bit pasted on top.
Yeah, that's what I was feeling too. I'll definitely try that. I think it'll help pop that out a little bit more.
Yeah, there's a handful of things that you can do with screen. One, ambient occlusion edge. Two, you can put in a very tight knit grid pattern on it. Do a shader, do a material that looks like that, and it kind of gives it a little bit of a screen texture to it. But if you add that on top of the image a little bit, and then if you give it kind of I'm looking at my screen now, and I've got a diffused reflection on it. So adding those little bits, and then just a touch of yellow light spilling onto the desk there from the image would be it. So it's just kind of tying
that's actually a really good idea with the textures and everything. But there's actually a little bit of yellow light, but I think it's the vignette that's kind of cutting it out because it
Got
was
it.
stronger on my screen for
Got
some
it.
reason, but now it looks different.
Got it. Yeah. So maybe. Yeah. That's fine. That actually looks pretty good there. It might just be a little bit toned down, but yeah. More about the other ones. I'm trying to think. I think that was the bulk of what I was seeing. Also, like looking, I guess they're like this light shape, just because this feels like there would be like and I guess it's just off camera.
Yeah, it's a spotlight that's off camera.
Yeah, I might actually kill that and just let it be the top-down light, because like we're not, just because we don't really see it anywhere else, and we're not seeing the source. I would just like keep it the fluorescent lights that are overhead.
Oh, okay, but we actually see it in the other shots, so I
Let's
don't
see.
know.
Oh, maybe I'm wrong.
Not in those. For
Oh.
those, I really took only shots that we don't see them. But
Okay.
like, there's a few shots where he goes to see the other guy, and then we really all see them.
Okay.
The spotlight. So.
Got it. Okay, that's fine. Does anybody else have anything before we move on?
But I'm wondering why the contact shadow on this corner is washed out so much.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah, I was trying to figure that out. It's like weird. I don't know if it's because
Is it
the
too much?
light is shining through, or
Because if you see the other shot on the top corner, like
Yeah.
the top wall, like that's nice.
Yeah.
But you don't see that in the other corner. So
That's a really fair point. Like something.
I don't know if it's you have to like maybe a light that's washing all of it out or something.
Yeah, because it's not even just there. It's like here. It's down along this edge. It's like
Yeah, it's just in this corner
Yeah.
of the room.
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, maybe there's another light that's making that weird effect. I'll have to check it out and see if there may be a problem.
Just investigate.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
that looks pretty good up there. That like dark
Yeah.
in the corner. I like that. Yeah, cool. I like the shot. Okay. Let's go and close these out, and we'll move on to Brenda. All right. Yeah. So looking at this one in comparison to your one yesterday, I think this. I think you hit all the notes really well. Sorry again. I was there's like one other one in here that I'm just gonna say good job to, but yours is the first one. I think you nailed it. I think you're good to move on to another project, or if you want to do more of these, but I think this one's in a good spot, and you did a good job hitting the notes.
Thank you. Great.
And I should hop to, I think, Montgomery was the other one. I think this one, same thing. I think you hit the notes really well. I think the values are in alignment with what we were seeing on the reference, and I think you're good to move on to the next one too. So I'll jump ahead to that one. But yeah, no, both of you all did really, really good with this first assignment, and you're definitely ready to continue on. All right, so Dani, we're up next. Thank you so much for putting these in, because like we can actually play around with these a little bit too. So like, because you have the two iterations just to mess with. Like if I just wanted to see what it looked like with just that light in there, we can just do this. There we go. And then like fade it down. Oh man, I'm way off. I was kind of hoping that would just snap in. There we go. But like we can really kind of play around with it a little bit now and see how we want it, because it is funny that like I think that without them entirely,
Yeah.
we're missing something, but with both of them, it's too much, right?
Yeah. Well, I wanted to say yesterday too that I think the like specular hits on the window on the right from the moon is cool, but we don't need the volume.
Yeah.
Like it was an idea, because like without it, it's just like what's out there,
Yeah.
darkness.
Let's do that. Yeah, because it may just be a matter of toning these down.
Yeah.
But I like I said, I love having this.
Well, but also, yeah, Dan, what did you think about when you did these two versions? Danny,
It was the same. I knew something was missing when I turned it off, and the moon, like I kept it with the volumetric because it just creates like a sort of symmetry in the image.
Mhm.
And now that it's off, it seems more out of place because it's very different. Not sold on it yet.
Yeah.
That would be something like this.
That? I don't know. It's a really tough one. Because I like it on the window and I like it on the desk a little bit, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's just a matter of turning these down a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, but if like what I did with putting it on the ground, then it's already drawing too much focus, I think.
Yeah. So I think just isolating it up there would be good. And then I wonder if, just do it this way. Then I wonder if it's like once we bring those in and lower those down a little bit, I think that actually, and then because I think that what was working about the other one was or about just having this is that this is distinguishably brighter.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that I think we can kind of go like that, right?
Yeah.
That feels better to me. Versus this. Because then it's like it's pushing us back into the space and it's brightening back there and darkening on the foreground. So I think that's where we should go.
Cool.
Great. Yeah, great. Good.
I like your couch though. What you have on there.
Hey.
The
Yeah, there's like a fuzz. Like you almost can feel a fuzz on it, right? Like on this front side. Like I want to just reach out and just it's fun.
It should be there. I hope that it won't go away when I up the samples.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
All right, good job. All right. Let's see who else we have. Tristan. And who's coming on? Is that Jordan?
Hello.
Hey, Jordan.
Hey.
How's it going? All right. Sorry, with the video on, you start to see the weird ways I look at things when I kind of like. So like sometimes with stuff like this, I'll even do like this with my own images and look at it postage size to make sure that the read is working there, and I blow it up. Another trick that I don't do this too often, but like a lot of other artists I work with do, is they'll like rotate it 180 degrees.
180. Whoa.
Just because like it takes it away from being anything, and then it's just about it being like, or you flip it horizontally either way, and just turns it into like just composition, and so you can see if the thing that you want to read is reading, and I think it is.
Yeah.
Right? Like because if the read works at this size, it's gonna work it's gonna work well at the larger one too.
I'm not the only one who does like.
Yeah.
No, it's like you kind of go to your side.
We're all here doing weird faces.
Weird faces and squinting. When I was in photo school, we used to have these like colored squares that you would like if you wanted to add more magenta or more cyan to your image. You'd post your image on this wall with like the proper lighting, and then you'd look at it and you'd flash this card in front of your eye to kind of like A/B it. It was like analog A/Bing something, and then it worked out okay. But yeah, that was always a weird one. But you do kind of end up contorting your body. So okay, a few things. I do like that this is darker out here. I think that works out really well. I want to see a value. I want to see like this get around that darkness, and then a little bit more value in here. So it's kind of like it's a little bit more layered. It's just that this side of the image is a little too consistent, and really the only thing breaking it up is like the two specular highlights on the face of the clock and then the lamp, which those feel a little bit too high, and I just want to see a little bit more diffuse breakup over there. But what I'm seeing over here on the left side, I think is working pretty well. I'll open it up. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I really like the shaping with the telescope. I feel like it reads it very well.
Yeah. It's a good balance between adding shaping and have it be silhouetted and not like taking away from anything. Like same thing with
Yeah,
I think the
exactly.
balloon back there looks really good because it's like it's set back there, but it feels like it's not. It's like it feels like it's in the space.
Yeah, everything feels like well in their space in that area. Everything feels like it belongs.
The only thing, like, so the photos in the frame, like this one feels a little bit blown out, and the white matte on the edges of these pictures, I feel like they would be more aged than that, and they wouldn't like they would be like more dusty, cringy, like beat up a little bit, and they wouldn't be able to achieve that level of like pure whiteness.
Okay.
But yeah. But I think it's working pretty well otherwise.
All right.
Do you guys think that the volumetric light coming in could be a little warmer?
I agree.
Yeah, I think it could, yeah. You could always try it out and see which one you
Yeah.
prefer.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I think it's good like this, because then wouldn't it clash with the blue plain? A warmer color?
Well,
I think it would mesh well with the rest of it, because everything else is pretty warm.
yeah. And by design, the volumetric isn't on the plane too much.
It's getting a little white, just a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. But yeah, no, I think the rest of it's looking really good. So great
All
job.
right, so I'll work some more on the left side.
Yeah. I think
Good. Thanks.
Yeah, no, thank you. All right. Let's see. In terms of everyone, is there anybody else that's live that has something? Otherwise, we can start going through the rest.
I think I do.
Oh, you do?
I think I should. Yep.
Well, I think you would know. So yes, let's take a look. I'm so glad you're here. Oh yes. Where did I miss that? It's right here. Gosh, yes, you do. You were totally right. Okay, I think that this is looking a lot better. The key side of her face is still a little bit too diffuse. I think but like her hair looks great. I think the rim looks great. The earrings are a bit overlit. Like they're a bit they're like a bit too like ambiently lit from the front, where the rest of her is getting pretty dark in there. But like the color, the shaping on the hair is really good, and the skin part is just hard, right? Like it's somebody just had reference. Sorry, give me a second to fumble with this. Somebody just had some really good reference yesterday. Where'd that go? Is it here? Yeah. I always forget the hotkey to show off extras. Age. Okay. So like these skin values from Dope, and I don't know what the other one is, but like, so it's much more about like this highlight and then like this. And so it's like it's much more about those smaller shapes and getting that in there. So I think because I think the shaping and I think the base is good. I just really want to see those like specular highlights in there. And it's like
Okay.
and it takes a while to get used to it. Like I said, there's a reason why skin is hard. But I think this is like I like it so much better because we had the visor on it yesterday, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, the
Then we got
visor.
rid of.
Yeah, removing the visor. I think the eye dings could probably be a little bit more like on this edge right here. And then like the black part of the eye feels a little cloudy. I would just make that a little darker, and then yeah. But I think everything else, for the most part, maybe a little less of the roughness on the garments, more spec on the garments too. But like everything else is working really well.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Anybody else?
Thank you.
Anybody else got anything?
I don't know if you got the files I sent you 2 days ago that you asked for, the EXR and the
Yes.
PSD.
Yes, I did that yesterday, in yesterday's critique.
Oh, okay. So I'll look at it yesterday then.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, for this, I think maybe it would look cool if the background was a little bit more blurred.
Yeah.
But that's just maybe a personal preference, but yeah.
Nope, that's the right idea because like this feels like we're a little bit further away with like a telephoto lens a little bit, and then that
Yeah,
would definitely throw
exactly.
the background out of focus. You're right. Also,
Yeah.
also the background you can, when you do that, like you can boost the brights a little more because like this just looks like a little bit clamped.
Yeah.
Boost the brights and then blow it out.
A little bit, just like so. Like this right here is about 20%. It's like it's about 18% gray, and that's like the middle of a light source. And so like I think that those, let's do it real quick. I think you can just take those and just boop, 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 make those a little bit brighter before you blur it. Ignoring her, but just looking back here, like something like that, just to get it a little bit brighter, and that way, that can go to like a pure white. It'll just look nicer once it gets blurred out, because blurring it will diffuse it even more, and so you don't want to. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. All right, great. All right, I'm gonna close this one too. All right, and we'll start going through the others. So this one, Alfredo, I think, and I'm hating to do this, but like I do think that we should perhaps consider removing the goggles on this one too, because it's just for now. Because like unless, and then we were talking about this yesterday, it's proving that the eyewear is causing less contrast on the eyes and an inability to read her eyes unless there's like a design a heads-up display in there or something that we can model around the eyes or design around the eyes so that we can see them a little better. Because like it's just like I want to connect with her there, but it's just too dim. So I would pop those off for right now. I think the glowiness might be too strong. Like the not the influence of the light, more like this the after post effects glow feels a little overpowering, and I would pull back on that a little bit. I like her position in the light now. I do like that the magenta is kind of infusing her shadow a little bit. I think that's cool. It might be a little strong, but I do like that we're seeing it influence the surroundings a little bit. I can't believe she just seems to be standing on some sort of air conditioning unit on the side of a building. That's pretty crazy. Am I right? I'm just nervous for her on this shot. It just feels like she's gonna fall. I want to move this reflection over just like a touch more, just because she falls right on the edge. I'm also interested in this reflection. Like there's two of them, and it doesn't feel right on a flat surface. Am I right? Like it feels like you get in one place or another.
I actually didn't even notice the second one.
Yeah.
But now I see it like.
Yeah.
I can only. Yeah.
I think the big one is the mirror, and the smaller one is the pole, the reflection from the pole, and it's not one surface.
Yeah, maybe, because that is odd that there's like two reflections for like.
Is there a pole? Why am I not seeing a pole?
It might be the corner piece.
Oh, like behind. Oh, I see. Yeah, I mean either way it's confusing, so I would just pull that back. And then it looks like you've got something in the background here that's not in with the depth of field with everything else. It's super minor, but just something I noticed there. And with the brightness on this background, I do want to try and see a little more light wrap from the sky around the edge here. It's just like a little too perfect on this edge too, a little bit too. Like that left edge looks a little better, but I just really want to do it. What do you guys, and I'll open it up. What do you guys think?
Yeah, no, pretty much I feel like exactly what you said. Besides that, I don't really see anything else that would need fixing. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah, with the visor, you have the mask for the heads-up display, so I think for her, it would be cool if it was clear with the visor being the same, like, pink glowy color, or the heads-up display being the same color.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, if you can get it to work with the HUD that we contributed, yeah, absolutely. Like because we did design that to be around her eye initially. It's just that like yeah, just like without that being in place, it's tricky. Yeah, cool, good job.
One thing that's jumping at my eye now is that you set up already about the glow on her things, but on the reflection. The glow looks way stronger than actually on her, which kind of doesn't really make sense to me. At least.
Yeah, that's a good point, because it looks broader almost, like it's I would tone that down a little bit in the reflection too. Yeah, it's a cool shot. Like, this is gonna be great. This is looking great. Like I really love, like, you can feel the energy of the light bouncing off this wall, right? Like that's really strong and working really well. So you can kind of feel you can feel the environment in this one. I like that a lot. So good job there. All right, next up we have, let me go. Oh, you know, we'll do one Hui next, and then we'll go backwards from here. Yeah, I just think maybe the face of the character could go like a little bit brighter. That's about it. Let's see. You guys can feel free to disagree. Take down a little saturation there. But I think just because I want his brightness to match her brightness a little bit. Maybe something like that. Maybe a little bit more. And then just take down a little bit of the specularity underneath his chin as well. But I think that's it. It's just a minor tweak on him. I think the rest of it's working out okay. Chair shaping looks good. Boxes look great. Dani, you had a note on this one the last time too, right? Was something about the books?
It was the curtain.
Oh, the curtain.
It's very. One half is red, the other one's totally not.
Yeah.
I think there should be like a blur or something between it.
Yeah, like a little bit of a softer shadow on that. And you know what? That's a really good point, because it's also aligning with like what looks like a wrap. So it almost looks like that. Because I guess that would happen because that's like a little bit more of a denser geometry, but maybe just sliding that down a little bit to allow for more gradual fall off between those two. Because in both directions it's doing it, where it's just kind of like abruptly ending. That's a good point. But yeah, other than that, I think it looks great. Cool. Let's move on to Mindy's. Yeah. I am... Sorry, leaning back. I still think she could maybe go a little bit brighter overall. Just because, like, I really... Maybe some more in there. Just because, like at this level, I still just like want to read her silhouette and her kind of popping off and things. Yeah, I think that might be a little better. The only other thing now that I'm realizing, and like she, I guess it's like a child's room, so it's fine. I was like, she feels really tall compared to the door. Like she might just be very tall, which is fine. But
yeah, that was the first thing that jumped into my mind.
So it might just be a matter of scaling her down just a touch. I don't know though. Maybe scaling up the door would be better. Or yeah. Do you guys have anything else?
I would.
Yeah. I mean, you made an audible sound when I said that, I think. I was like, maybe trigger down. I heard a like that. It's great. No, that's awesome. Yeah. I was just trying to think of like the easiest way to handle that, but it might just be a matter. The door in its design might be a little bit squished. I think you have some room to stretch it out a little bit.
I feel like everything in that room is like bigger than usual. Like the picture frames feel bigger too, and like the window and everything.
Yeah.
I think it's like very more stylized than the character.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Yeah, because it is kind of like a cartoony design on the space.
Yeah, that's why I think she was also saying she doesn't know if she likes her in this environment anymore.
Yeah, that's true. She was saying that. Yeah. No, I mean, it's a tricky one because the lighting looks good. Right? Like it's a good structure. I think she's getting good shaping. I think all of that's falling into place. It is, yeah. It's just a little bit of a different design between the character and the environment. I don't have a good answer to what to do next. I think it would be just a matter of like chalking this up as if it's to the point where you don't want to do it. If you're like, maybe this isn't working out, it's like chalk it up to a good exercise and getting a better understanding. And then like you could literally take this character and put it in a different environment, and you already have an understanding of how she lights, and it'll be that much easier and that much faster to do it again the next time. Or likewise, just putting a different character in that spot. But I think it's a shame because I think it looks good, other than that scale stuff. But yeah, sorry. I feel like that's a bummer of a way to end it with a shot that looks good. Because there's some points you're like, yeah, if the styles don't match, there's not really much else you can do.
Yeah, because the lighting looks really nice, so it's just like you could always try with a different character or something like that.
Yeah, just give it a go. Keep going,
Yeah.
because you're doing good. All right, good job, Mindy. Keep going. That's the motto. All right, so so we have Felipe and Kat. So let's we'll take a look at Kat's first. So there's two versions. So there's these two images go together with, I believe she called it, so there's all the lights, and then this was just the window light and the desk light. We have some reference here of what that window light would look like. So when I was looking at this, so I think when we were talking about it yesterday, I was even wondering if, and like, Kat, you can, when you see this, you can totally disagree with me, but I actually think if it was me, I would ignore the idea of using this window light too strongly for now, because if it was me, I would play up this light more. I think that, again, because like with the way that this is set up with the character, with all the light coming this way, it just creates an opportunity for the character to be the same throughout the entire shot, lighting wise, so look kind of the same. And what this light does is really allow the character to step into the light more when the character is delivering like the dramatic lines, like you can see it like here, right? So now it's like the light would really pop up, and then and maybe instead of the light coming in from this way, it's coming in from this window, and then like you might be able to see like the blinds causing more of like on the rim light on the character. That would be my approach to it. But that being said, if you want to continue with the window light coming in this way, we can totally make that work, because what it is it's a little bit of a balancing act, because now we're pumping in light from one side with it being like daytime, and we're asking that lamp to really play up a thing, and those two, like, they're going to be two in conflict with each other. So I would play it up as being later in the day, having the light coming in from behind and just kind of like being the secondary one, and really making the key light the lamp light, just because it's so close to camera and right next to the character. That's how I'd kind of play that up. But if we want to do that, I think if we want to keep this, I think then it's a matter of maybe making this light the dominant one and downplaying this a little bit, because the one thing about film noir look is that there is always like one dominant light direction, one dominant kind of look, and that's how you're able to achieve those like hard shadows on stuff. If you're mixing in too many lights, you're not going to get that look. So I think it would be a matter of maybe even, I'm wondering, maybe turning this light off and allowing it to be like when the character is back here, maybe not even in the light, and then when he steps forward, that's when he steps into the window. Like twist the key light so it's only here, because like any way we cut it, we want the majority of the light to be on the character when he's in this pose, because that's like when he's pointing the finger and doing the whole thing. So yeah, so that would be my two takes on it. And then in terms of the reference, I think both of these are good for if we want to. This one feels a little off to me. Now that I look at it, this feels a little. like bad CG. Because it's like we're not seeing the brightness outside. Like I don't believe that these shadows are right. Like I'm not even seeing the edge of the window here. But anyway, okay. But this one I think that this one's really nice in terms of like the glows and stuff that it brings together. But really it's about like figuring out which one of these light sources is really our key, like really our dominant light source, and then embracing that and going forward with it. What do you guys think?
I would add maybe also a little bit more glow around the light bulb. I feel like it just
Yeah.
it's like too sharp.
Yeah, because if we're again this close, this direct with the light, you're probably not even gonna read that circle. It's just gonna be kind of like a glowy edge to it.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, that we could get there. I'm more concerned about like its effect on the character, right? Like in like really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, glows and stuff can come later. I don't think, but definitely choose one.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Let's hop over to Felipe. So this is Felipe's previous version, and then and then this is the update. So I think like this is just in one iteration, and I wanted to pull this in to be like, wow, like what a good update, right?
Yeah.
Like really, really strong stuff. Much more shaping on the character. You get much more of a feel for his mood and his demeanor on things. There's still stuff that we can improve on. The first thing is like the background seems low resolution and distorted to me. So I would let's start. We're going to start there, and I think, and it might just be a matter of. Because like right now, like this side of it's out of focus and like this is out of focus and it feels a little bit like a 2D blur. You can go ahead. I think it's safe to you can go ahead and throw all of it out of focus, and that would solve that. As in terms of the character himself, I think that it's like you've got a good base of the lighting down. I think now it's a matter of adjusting some of the shaders, and the things to look at are. The skin right now feels like there's no specularity on it, so it would be a matter of getting more specularity there. His chest does feel like it has specularity on it, but it feels a little too perfect, like he's made of a perfect plastic or metal. It would be a matter of breaking that up a little bit in the bump map, and then I can see like the hard line of the shadow here. It would be a matter of softening that a little bit by increasing the light's radius to get that shadow to be a bit softer. And then we can do things like, and then we can build on that, like adding like a little bit more spec into the cape here, and then also his chest is theoretically the same skin as his face, a little bit. I mean, it's fine if it's a different color because lots of mammals do that, like have different color faces from their chest, but it feels very, very different than one another. And so I think I would pull those a little bit closer together, like adding a little bit of warmth in the chest, torso. Unless he has his shirt on, then it's different. But like I said, the name of the game early on in this is progress and making big jumps between iterations, and you definitely did that. So I think that was like when I saw this, I was like, that was really cool to see. I'm open it up. Does anybody else have anything?
I think you can match the chest spec to the spec that's on his wing. I think the wing is really working.
Yeah, that's true, and it's just a matter of breaking up the shape of it a little more. Because like skin has like, again, like a bat wing is like leathery and weird, and getting that little bit of texture in there is good. But I agree, the value is pretty good.
Yeah, I feel maybe also getting a little bit more spec on his cane. That could look cool.
Yeah, the cane.
I feel like it goes too much into dark.
Yeah, the cane's dark in there. Yeah, you're right. I kind of forgot he had the cane there. And we're getting the creepy toenail look, which is something I love out of him. It's like toenails freak me out on a good day, and with him it's even worse. But yeah. All right. So I think that's everyone for today. Okay, so we'll leave it there. Good job, everybody. Do you guys have anything before we part ways? It's good seeing you guys as always. This is like my favorite social interaction moment of my day. All right. I will talk to you all very soon. Be good, guys. Happy
Thank
life.
you.
Bye.
Bye.